just because you can manipulate people doesn't mean you're evil, right? It just means that you're good at knowing how to get what you want, I guess. But the thing is, people didn't know I played them. It's not like I stole something or like hurt people. You know what I mean? It's more like I just played the narrative. I don't know how to explain it better, but that's how I see it at least.
Well, I mean, the other thing, like when I was younger, I didn't sometimes understand that what I was doing was being manipulative. Like I just was saying, well, this is the situation I'm in. And a lot of those situations, it was like, well, you missed all these classes, Eric. You're going to get all these truants. Well, I don't want to get all those truants, so let me go see which teachers I can get to write which notes to say I was at their class during this thing for that time period so I can get out of all these things. That's something that happened to me in high school. Like I had, I don't know, 20 truants. I managed to get different teachers to sign notes saying I was in there. Hey, you remember I was in here the other day, like last week, right? When I was working after a thing? Can you write a note? Because they got me as an excused absence. You were in here? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you know, like that. And then I went up to the office. I remember going up to the office and handed the lady all these notes and being like, yeah, all these are excused. And her being fucking pissed. Like, you little fuck, getting away with it again, getting away with shit again. And I just thinking, well, I mean, oh, she looks mad. Well, I got the note, so what can you do? TI, it's like a TI thing. I don't think FE. I don't think like, well, she's gonna know I'm lying or something. I don't think FI. Well, you know, this is probably really important to her or whatever. I think TI. Can she defeat this argument? I've got all these notes. No, she can't. Therefore, I win.
Yeah. Like for example, like if I got in trouble in school, I like the teacher would write a note, and you would have to bring the note back to the teacher with a signature from your parents, for example. I would just fucking fake the signature, for example, like shit like that. So I would never get in trouble. Like my mom thought I was the perfect student. Like I would even like fake my fucking grades and shit. Like, like because I knew that like I was good enough for the school. Like I got decent grades, but I guess I just wanted to impress my mom or some shit, so I just kind of faked my grades, and I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit if I faked my grades or not to my mom. I don't know. I just wanted her to be happy or whatever, and I would constantly do shit like that, like fake competency, I guess, in a way,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something
like
about
that.
faking competency, though. It eventually turns into real competency because you fake competency and then you get better at faking it. And you go, okay, well, this is what real competency looks like, so let me get better at faking it. Eventually realize it turns into real competency.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's almost 3 in the morning. Magnus, it is well past your bedtime, young man. You're only
Yeah,
in your early 20s. Your brain's still growing.
it's 11:47 a.m.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. CJ, what time is it where you are?
It's almost 6 a.m.
Same.
It's the life. It's the lifestyle.
I feel like
So,
it's
Well,
only been me and Eric talking, and then it's like I don't know.
so did you guys like get up at
Oh,
4 in the
yeah.
morning and start, or are you still up?
I went to sleep at like
Uh,
8 and then woke up at like 3, and I'm just gonna have coffee and an Adderall. I have a lot to do today, and I know I won't be able to fall asleep again anyways, so I may as well not even try.
no, it was just
That
up all
is a good
night.
plan, young man. That's a good plan. Addy up, you're good to go.
I just wish it was not extended release and it was instant release, but
I
whatever.
feel you. I do. All I have for tomorrow is one extended release. I'm gonna take a couple days off to get mine refilled. And the thing is, I don't like extended release really, but you know, if you don't have any IRs,
Yeah. It's kind of just like, you have to like be like, okay, do you really want to be on this for 8 hours straight with unpredictability of when the things are going to be released
how
and
many
to what
milligrams?
intensity at what time?
How many milligrams do you take?
Huh?
How many milligrams do you take?
It's either 20 or 10. I can't remember.
Do you don't take like 4 or 5 of them?
I mean, in the past, I had taken extended release, multiple in a day. It's not recommended.
Because see, my general philosophy is this: when you get a prescription filled, I try to roll for about maybe a week or so with about a 60 milligram per day average. So, maybe the first day, go gentle. Maybe just take 30. Second day, maybe go hard and take like 80. Third day, 60. Kind of like wind it down at the end of the week. And then take a couple days of sleeping, maybe.
Well, I don't have a script, so I have to pay way more than you do.
You should get
so
a
it's
script.
like I have to conserve. I have to. That's one thing I have to do. I have to send my last 4 paychecks to get health insurance, so that I can get therapists and a psychiatrist, and then they can give me maybe what I want. Although I doubt that they're going to give me what I want, because everyone's like, "This is an addictive substance. We're not giving this to you." That's never happened with any stimulants, really. Mostly like benzos, but
I mean, you got to sell them on it, and you got to be assertive. So you got to tell a believable story about attention, and then you've got to be able to muster some indignation that they're not resolving your medical problem.
yeah, I already know the route they're going to take. They're going to think that it's because I'm depressed. That's why I can't focus. And be like, no, I'm definitely not depressed. Blah blah blah.
I mean,
I really want to read.
with
I
the
really want to
story.
read a book, but it sucks. I can't sit there and read a book, and I have all the desire to, but just I can't do it.
Go in with the story
Things like
of
that.
a little sister that got put on now that she's in high school, and that you were. It was recommended for you back when you were in school, where your parents opposed the idea. You've seen the wonders that it's done on your little sister, and you realize that, you know, you've been enduring this nightmare of ADHD for years now without, because you sort of bought into the idea that you don't want to take unnecessary drugs, but Jesus, your sister is performing like a whole new person, and you struggle so much. I think it's appropriate for me at this point to give in to the idea that, okay, maybe I do need a medical solution to this, and then let them have to make the arguments like, oh, it's addictive or whatever. I said, be like, well, I mean, I'd rather be addicted and functional than wallowing in the current morass of failure that I call my life. Now, why are you trying to keep me down in the mud? Put the pressure on
I'll
me.
probably do something similar, yeah, but in a different way.
Make them answer questions as to why they're making you persist in a state of medical unfitness. But we're not.
Yeah,
Okay,
not
fine.
enough
Here, just take the
alternatives.
prescription. Fuck it. This guy's too difficult.
I think the thing is, I think they're gonna end up giving me like Concerta or some shit, and I don't know if I necessarily want that, or like Vyvanse.
Take whatever they
Like
start you
it's
on.
a matter of like which prescription they're gonna give me.
It doesn't matter what they start you on. When they start you on some kind of speed, you can work your way up to the one you want. You just go in there and say, this upsets my stomach. This one makes me feel too jittery. oh, this Adderall is perfect. Now this makes me feel right. This really lets me get shit done. Doesn't upset my stomach. It doesn't make me jittery. It's perfect. Just what I want. No, those extended releases those upset my stomach. And then, you know what? This is just about right, but it's about 4 p.m. I start getting really irritable. I think maybe I need a second dosage for the day. And then once you're up to 2 pills of like 15 or 20 a day, stop. Don't push to increase the dosage anymore. That makes them suspicious.
Right.
And you don't need more than that. You don't really want more than that. It's like, and then if you binge, you run out halfway through the month, fine. You got a couple weeks sleepy week. And you don't get into a psycho, you don't get like speed psycho like you do if you don't take breaks.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even take it every day if they gave it to me, to be honest. It would be like I have like periods of extreme feelings of lack of stimulation or whatever, or just extreme periods of lack of stimulation, and I'm like, I really, really need something because I just can't do anything because I'm just bored by everything.
Right.
But then I have periods where I'm fine with everything.
Right. You need more dopamine.
Actually,
I think I think you should try CBD oil before Adderall.
oh no, I definitely want Adderall. I'll try both though.
CBD oil.
Eric is like, that's the pussy shit, right? That's the Coca-Cola Light of fucking weed, like.
It's like saying before you try chemotherapy for your cancer, I really think you should try this strained apricot juice.
True.
I just think that maybe I don't know. I just think CBD is way better at seeing if that works first than.
Way better for what?
I mean, even if CBD did work, there's still going to be periods where I want to be like,
Look,
Exactly.
you know,
the problem with CBD oil is it's never going to effectively be speed.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Speed's great.
I need speed.
I don't want a natural interest in life. I want an artificial one.
Right. It's the
Just
difference
love
between
Neptune.
everything being boring and everything being interesting.
Isn't that true, Eric? Neptune just needs some love.
No, he needs speed.
Well, that's neither here nor there. So speed is where it's at for now.
Yeah.
You can buy love. Don't worry. I know as a 4 you don't care about like things being unique
Right.
or genuine in any sense.
Do you find yourself kinkier when you're on speed?
Kinky.
Kinkier.
Kinkier? Define kinkier.
Like weirder.
I'm less weird if it's instant release, more weird if it's extended release.
I find myself get a little weirder. If I take a bunch of it, I get weird. But sometimes. I don't always go sexual when I take it. Sometimes I get into most of the time I get into some project. Sometimes I start going like...
Oh, you meant sexually. I thought you meant kinky or just like weird in general.
No, I mean like, you know, I watch porn I wouldn't normally watch sometimes when I'm freaking out, you know? Some weird ass shit.
No, not really. That's not a thing with me. I don't even want to be like home watching porn really. Then I'm like, oh, I like have a desire to socialize, so I'll either go in the room or
Yeah, well,
I'll read.
I always
read
feel
something.
guilty. I always feel like I wasted time if I spend too much time masturbating. I tell myself, Eric, it doesn't have to take long at all if you if you hurry it along here, if you don't get too weird, you know. But the thing is, most of the time I don't go there, but sometimes I do. I'm a little tweaked out, especially it's like I've been tweaked out for a few days or something. I got tweaked out and have sleep deprivation. Now I go like, okay, it's time for an extended masturbation session.
In theory, SI needs some comfort.
I don't know. It's
like,
actually.
what do you consider weird? Is it like, are you just like watching bukkake porn or something? Is that not weird? I don't know.
Well, there's these like public humiliation videos, like where they take the chick out in the street and they like fuck her out in the street and stuff. It's I don't know. The thing is, I don't start there. The thing is, I don't ever make the decision either. It's like I'm on the internet. I see something. It's kind of like a picture. It has like a news story with a picture of a girl in a bikini in. And I'm like, oh, that girl's cute. Who is that girl? I wonder. And I click that picture, and then I go to Google Images and I type in boobs, and I type in naked boobs because the first boobs that come up aren't naked, you know. And then before you know it, you're typing in stupid slut fucked by 4 guys in public. You know, it's like
happens.
Yeah, it escalates pretty quickly.
It really does escalate.
When you get good ideas.
Good ideas.
I found this one thing. It's a series. It's called "Fuck My Stupid Face" or "Fuck Your Stupid Face" or something like that. And they bring a girl in and they go, "Hi, okay, so your name's Jenny. Yeah, I'm Jenny. And you're here so that we can fuck your stupid face." And she's like, "Yeah, that's why I'm here." Okay, well, open your mouth. We're going to fuck your stupid face now. And it's like I was really enamored with that particular series. I think there were like 9 different ones, and I ran out of them. I mean, the thing is, I'm not a big porn consumer. I'm saying when it does occur, then
you
fall into the rabbit hole.
It depends how tweaked out I am, if I get freaky or not. I probably don't masturbate at all if I'm not super tweaked out. I'd probably just go have sex. Like, part of being weird is like, oh, I kind of want to masturbate instead of having sex.
Well, that's normal.
Everybody needs me time, Eric. It's
I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, I guess it is strange. Like, if you have the real thing, then
Right.
well, I guess reality can't do what you're imagining.
The real thing doesn't get that weird, you know. The real thing doesn't get nearly that weird.
Yeah, you can't become 4 guys and fuck Kimberly in public.
Yeah, and Kimberly's not really into any kind of weird shit at all, anyway. So, like, she doesn't even like it when I talk at all during sex, which is it's really cutting me off at the knees, frankly. But whatever. I've gotten used to it.
There's like, I feel like there's like never like people either like hate that completely or they love it completely. It's never like.
I love talking, but I don't get to talk anymore, basically.
But I feel like, Eric, you would talk about like the most ridiculous shit, like for some reason.
I can be a little weird.
But you would just like randomly make her laugh about like some weird ass phrase you said, you know, like I'm just gonna stick my long ice cube up your fucking.
What did I say the other day?
Stick.
I'm gonna stick my stink pole up your stench hole.
You said it right. That's just...
Yeah, that's exactly an example of what you're talking about there. I said that just like 2 days ago.
What? What the fuck?
Not during sex, right?
No, it's like this is my way of flirting.
How endearing.
Or I have a song that goes, I'll start singing it to her. You're a very sexual lady, and I'm a deeply sensual man. Yeah, you're a very sexual Stacy, and I'm a highly sexual Stan. Then there's another verse that's something like, oh yeah, y- your your cooch is moist as a waterfall. My manhood's stiff as a rock. So spread those legs wide open, girl, 'cause here I come with my cock. See, girls don't actually find that arousing at all. They just Kim just tells me to shut up, and I'm like, okay, Eric, okay. Thanks for ruining it. It was gonna be special, and now you ruined it. You don't like my song? Girl, better not be sassing my song.
If she doesn't like your song.
She wants it to be like romancy or something.
I think the melody was the problem, to be honest.
You
You just got had a better
Maybe it's
melody
fleshing
than
out.
before.
I just imagine like Polar FIU romantic. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
She wants to be like all smoochy, I love you, and then. But to me, that just seems like.
It's not porn worthy.
I mean, I don't even know.
It wouldn't be porn
What
worthy.
is
So
that? What is that people do that? It's like.
Yeah.
Like, you do it for 5 seconds, you get the point of it, right? It's like, okay, yes, we're physically affectionate with each other. That's good.
well,
I
for
like to-
you, even though you're still in love with Kim, sex is probably still not necessarily like a loving act, whereas some people can't actually separate it.
Right. Well, this is something that we've realized is that she combines the idea of physical intimacy and emotional intimacy. She thinks those two things should be one package. I think they're two totally different things. It's like,
Well,
How?
it just depends on. It just depends on. I mean, I think that's more common with guys, but
well, I mean, I don't think they're
and
totally.
guys are much more visual. Guys are much more visual as well.
Well,
Girls in general are much more like the idea and the what do you call it? The environment or whatever that you're doing it in, rather than sticking cock and pussy kind of thing. You know, guys are much more visual with that kind of shit.
well, I mean,
Much more visceral or whatever you want to call it, primal.
it's like I, I find it to be sort of a playful act that is it starts with humor and proceeds into sort of like oh, you dirty slut, you like this, huh? Oh yeah, I like it, like that kind of stuff. But she sees it um as something that starts as serious and then proceeds into animalistic, which is a totally different approach. So I'm trying to learn her approach, basically.
well, I guess that makes more sense. You don't. It kind of seems weird to start off with like, okay, now we're going to the bedroom, you slut.
No, I mean, I mean,
Breaking
Eric,
the ice.
what's wrong about going like purely animalistic then?
Well, it just doesn't seem seamless, I guess. Like it should
Just
be
like-
seamless. Otherwise, it seems more like performancy. You can't really get into it properly.
right. See, there you go. For me, the whole kissing, like, oh, I love you thing, it feels like
That feels performancy.
performancy, like I'm having to put on a little show for her or something. But not so much anymore, because I think
You actually love her.
there's been a shift where I realized that the whole like roles versus person thing, that but this is actually this is what I was actually supposed to be looking for. These roles things and like checking to make sure that it's meeting my expectations or whatever, that all that stuff was a replacement when you don't have the right person. You don't need that at all if you have the right person, because it's a mood. All that shit's mood. And the reason it's the right person is because you're connected and bonded to that individual person, not because it's fair or it's effective or some other reason, really. I still don't. I still never feel that to the extent that I think FI users do. Like, I will always be somebody who's susceptible to going outside, getting on the internet, talking to people, and forgetting all about Kimberly. I'll always be susceptible to that. When I'm not with her and I'm not talking about her, I'm usually not thinking about her at all. I don't miss her very much. And if I were kept away from her for an extended period, I'm sure I'd start experiencing lots of flare-ups of bad emotions, and you have to deal with them and figure out what's going on here and whatever. But assuming, I operate on the assumption that everything's kosher and that we're good, it's very easy me to forget about her basically and just do my own thing and whatever. So that's polar FI. I value her vastly more than that quality would be indicative of, you'd think. We've spent so much time
I don't think I
together.
really. I like barely miss people either. I don't know. Maybe it's not an FI thing.
Maybe it's an anything.
You don't miss people?
Like I don't really like miss. Yeah, I don't really miss people that much. Like once in a
Because
while, but
I noticed that that's because the people you like is usually because of circumstance. Like I find that a rare friendship is when it it has like it's not circumstantial friendship basically.
well, I have friends that I like. It's not circumstantial, and I do miss them, but it's like rare that I'm like, oh yeah, this is what's missing in my day right now. I don't know. I'll like check in on people because it's like, and it's like, oh, it'd be cool if they were in this city instead of in this other city. But I'm not like actively missing them or anything.
I
It's like if
miss,
someone crosses my mind and they're around, maybe I'll be like, hey, what are you doing?
I miss company
Because
sometimes, for sure. Like, if I'm
Yeah,
spending,
that's pretty much it.
yeah.
yeah,
And
like you don't miss a particular person. It's just the presence of somebody else is what you're missing.
I mean, it has to be their like a particular kind of presence too. I don't want just any presence, but um,
Yeah.
and some people might be like more suited to fill that type of presence depending on what I'm creating. But I don't know if it's about them. I don't know. Maybe it is.
I mean, one thing that's changed for me recently is I've become decreasingly enthusiastic or interested in making videos every time I'm driving by myself in the car. But I don't really do very well if I have extended periods of sitting by myself in silence driving the car, which I have more of now. Like, that's not a good thing for me emotionally or my general sense of well-being. If I am like going on a 6-hour trip someplace by myself in the car, by the time I get there, I'll be fucking bonkers. It's really difficult for me to operate in that kind of a social vacuum and um, any wasteland, because you can only do a minimum amount of ideational stuff while driving the car, mostly talking because you can't type, obviously. You can't do like editing and shit like that or whatever. So you're very limited on an any ground, and then if there's nobody else around, you got no FE going on. You just got TI going on in your head, and there's nothing's coming of it, and your SI is doing a poor job of keeping track of it, and you just kind of feel like you're floundering aimlessly in a sea of self. You just be like, I'm so sick of this person that I keep dealing with. Oh yeah, that's right, it's myself.
Do you think if you just sat in it for long enough that you would get over it, or is it just something that's not going away ever?
Oh, it just gets worse and worse. It's like I'm not meant to be that stimulus deprived. Just having extroverted sensing stimuli, which I don't even like. It makes me feel car sick or makes me feel motion sick. I don't like to be jostled, you know. I like to remain basically still and not moving around too much and not being
I get the
bumped.
same thing.
So
Yeah,
so,
it's funny. I relate to that.
so cars are places of discomfort. This probably must be an NE Dom thing. It's like 4-slot SI when we sit in the car, CJ. It's like, eh. I'm being forced to attend to SI. The fact that my butt's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's after a while, definitely. I'm so sensitive to like discomfort in that way. It's crazy.
I always kind of just I'm like, oh, I can listen to like a full album in full and like stare out the window and not have to talk to anyone. It's kind of romantic, I guess.
I never ride in a
Yeah,
car.
this car isn't so bad, but I don't know. Like I hate planes. Like I need to kind of get over that though, because I want to travel. But
Planes are terrible.
I hate planes.
yeah, right.
I would just like take so much Xanax and just like be not
Yeah,
there at all as much as possible.
yeah. That's the
Before I
thing.
get on flights.
Basically.
Like I had to get on like
Basically
a
what I have to do.
16-hour flight to Japan or something like that. It was too much. I like went through like
Oh,
half
wow.
my Xanax just.
Oh, you did it though. I mean, it's pretty
I
good.
wasn't even anxious. It's just like deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The best thing about driving cars is that
Yeah.
it's better than every other mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Except maybe horseback riding. I mean, who gets places by horseback? That'd be nice. If you had a really fast horse, though. You have a really fast
Probably have
horse.
to move to Address Town.
Mm-hmm.
You probably do that.
Like Red Dead 2 vibes.
I can't get over the driving thing, and I just love that I can just like click on an app and be like, request driver now, and then I get taken anywhere I want. It's like I'm famous.
Yeah, you like love that shit.
I'm a celebrity.
Like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I'm so special.
So a lot of times it's like some like really gross car and it smells like
No.
or the Uber driver talks
Yeah,
too
man.
much.
I'd like to
Oh,
live in
really?
a place where it's kind of like, open country, and I've got a staff of people maintaining a set of fresh horses at like every 2 miles in a circular pattern around my central home location, so that everywhere I go on horseback, I can sprint the horse the whole time. So it's like I get on the horse and also I'm like, yeah, the horse is sprint. As soon as it gets super tired, I get to one of the fresh horses. I hop off that horse, get on the next horse, and go, yeah. And then that way I can be almost as fast as a car.
Yeah, you got horsepower there.
Kind of an expensive way to travel, though. You gotta have a staff of people maintaining your fresh horses.
Do you think horses that actually mind being ridden? Ridden? I don't know it.
No,
Mixed feelings.
Rodin.
I think they resign themselves to it. And once they resign themselves to it, they're like, hey, I guess this is what happens.
Yeah.
People just get on my back sometimes. I don't know.
I think horses are like elephants, maybe.
Yeah, right.
I think they can recognize themselves in the mirror too.
They have long, floppy ears and trunks.
No, they can recognize themselves in the mirror, I think, which
Oh.
means that they have like consciousness.
So can certain kinds of birds.
Amazing.
Do you know how they do the test with the bird? If you get a certain kind of birds that can recognize themselves, and this is how you tell if they can. You put a little piece of fluff or something on them, you like tape it to them or something. I don't know. And then you put them in front of the mirror, and if they go, oh shit, there's a little piece of fluff on me, and they take it off, then you know they recognize themselves in the mirror. And you put it somewhere where
Right.
they can't see it if they're not looking in the mirror. Like under their chin, for example. But I guess they have to be able to get it with their beak, though. I don't know. I'm gonna Google, how do you tell if an animal can recognize itself in the mirror? Do you know if you're pregnant, if you have lice, when a guy likes you, if you have cancer, if you have a blood clot? That's the auto completes for how do you know?
Symbolic.
I don't know if an animal wants to hump you. Has rabies, is extinct, is a service animal, is endangered, has fleas. Animal can recognize itself in the mirror.
I guess horses can't, just by the testing they did, but they don't know if that's rules it out. They did the same thing, basically, that you said with the horses.
List of animals that have passed the mirror test.
Dolphins, elephants, magpies.
Magpies.
Great apes, Asian elephants, orca whales, ants. Manta rays, maybe. Elephants look too sad to not recognize themselves in the mirror. They just always look like they're suffering, you know?
I know, right?
This is really interesting. One thing to note is that some animals can recognize what the mirror is for. They can use the mirror to find objects. This is true for pigs and New Caledonian crows. But they may not recognize that the individual they are looking at is itself. Putting a spot on the animal and watching the animal try to poke that spot does not necessarily guarantee the animal understands that it has a sense of self. False killer whales in particular showed evidence of both contingency checking and social behavior directed towards their mirror image. The test is skewed towards vision-centric species. There's one objection to it.
I looked up elephant memory, and the first thing that came up was a band called Elephant's Memory.
I'm just looking at baby elephants right now. They're pretty cute.
I'm
You
gonna
get
go
into-
to bed, guys.
Okay.
All right, peace, dude.
Yeah, I'm so tired. So
Good night.
good
Yeah,
night.
Don't forget
Yeah,
to eat
night,
plenty
dude.
of cheese. Hmm. I think my chicken might recognize itself in the mirror. Why does my cat like me better than my wife? Hmm.
I think elephants are dinosaurs. I think they're living dinosaurs.
Ah, dude, it's so weird you said that because I was thinking, like, basically the same thing. They're just like dinosaurs.
They're just like herbivore.
Yeah.
Herbivore.
Yeah, herbivores, yeah.
It's
Right?
kind of the wrong way to say it, but it's really herbivore.
Herbivore, yeah.
But it just feels wrong.
Herbivore. Yeah. It's probably
Rhinos are dinosaurs too. And giraffes
Truth.
are also dinosaurs.
Oh, dude. You're making a reach there.
Yeah, with the giraffes.
Giraffe. With a reach as long as a giraffe's neck. Oh man. Giraffes are cool though.
They are.
I don't understand why ants are on this list, though. It's like it says the mirror test has been passed by 9 species of animals. Most of them highly intelligent. Asian elephants, great apes, bottlenose dolphins, orca whales, European magpies, promising manta rays, and ants. Why ants?
Ants are probably smart.
Ants can recognize themselves in the mirror.
Yes, they can, and this is how they proved it. When viewing other ants through glass, ants didn't divert from their normal behaviors. However, their behavior did change when they were put in front of a mirror. The ant would move slowly, turn their heads back and forth, shake their antennae, and touch the mirror. They'd retreat and reapproach the mirror. Sometimes they would groom themselves. The ants were next given a classic mirror test. A team of researchers would use blue dots to mark the dipius, or clypeus, I'm not sure, of some of the ants, which is a part of their face near their mouth. When in an environment without mirrors, these ants would behave normally and wouldn't touch the markings. But this changed when they could see their reflections in a mirror. The ants with blue dots on their face would groom and appear to try to remove the markings. Very young ants and other ants with brown dots that blended in with the color of their faces didn't clean themselves. Interestingly, neither did ants with blue dots put on the back of their heads. When put in the company of those with blue dotted faces, other ants would respond aggressively, presumably because the difference caused them to think the blue dotted ant was an outsider. All of this led the researchers to conclude that the clypeus is a species-specific physical characteristic that is important for group acceptance. Given that these ants tried to clean the mark rather than respond aggressively, the ants likely didn't think their reflection was just another ant. So in other words, if they see a blue dot on another one, they are aggressive. But if they see it on themselves, they try to clean it off. That's pretty convincing. Who knew? Who knew ants were so smart?
Ant farms are smarter than Google.
That's actually probably true.
According to Google.
I should see if I can get some ants to make the bot stay up in this room. Ants. Makes me feel bad about killing all those ants I killed when I was a little kid.
Exactly.
Like,
really?
Slaves, so they're glad that they were taken out of their misery.
Well,
They're slaves to the ant farm.
Well, in our elementary school, there were red ants in one of the sandboxes, and we used to play emergency services, where we'd injure one of the ants and then put it on a paramedic or something and drive it to the hospital, stuff like that, you know, and have natural disasters. Oh no, it's a hurricane! All the ants are blowing away. Like that. Poor ants.
Yeah, I always felt
My
bad.
mom said she used to take the wings off of ladybugs so they couldn't fly away. So now she feels bad. So anytime a ladybug gets in the house, we can't kill it. We have to set it free.
We did all sorts of bug experiments. I remember freezing bees, and so they were like in a coma, and then reviving them as a magic trick. You know, like, I brought the bee back to life. We all got stung all the time because we'd always catch bees, like mid-flight, and drown them in the pool, whatever. You know. They were all around my grandma's pool. They were all around our houses. There used to be bees everywhere.
You're the reason why the bees are going extinct.
Yeah.
You solely.
It was my callous disregard for their well-being caused them to lose the will to live, is what happened. Because they really respected me a lot, and I failed them. So, Hence,
You failed the
colony
E's.
collapse disorder. Those are called pining for Eric disorder. Pining. How much of your average day would you say is spent pining?
You say pining like some people. You have like a hard time doing a hard G.
Pining. Is that hard enough for
You
you?
say it sounds like you're saying pining when you say pining. Pining.
Oh,
Pining.
shit. Pining.
Pining.
Yeah, pining. How much of your day do you say spend pining?
I guess it doesn't really count as pining if you don't really know what you're pining for, maybe.
How can you say that you're pining if you don't know what you're pining for? Is an old
Right.
folk song you may remember.
Is it really?
No.
Figured, but that sounds that's pretty good. It's a top 40 hit right there.
Mm-hmm. How can you know you're pining?
When you don't know what you're pining for. Yeah, that's a good question, but it is kind of broad. Like,
You told me that
Probably-
you're pining, but I don't know if
6
you
hours.
pine for me. You pine for him. You pine for Steve. You pine for going to the gym. It's hard to say just what you're pining for. It's a country song about a guy whose woman reassures him again and again that she's pining, but she never actually tells him that she's pining for him. And he's away on a trip. There's a song about communication problems in a relationship.
oh shit. There you go.
I'm pining for a 24-hour city.
For what?
For a 24-hour city. Because I hate when I wake up at like really early and I can't fall back to sleep and there's absolutely nothing to do. Everyone's asleep.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh my god, sorry. Eric hitting the bong is like so funny.
You could
That
use-
torch too
use
is
the
fucking awesome.
flamethrower. Elon Musk flamethrower.
Elon Musk. What does Elon Musk do that?
No, Elon Musk invented a new
He
flamethrower.
invented flamethrowers, yeah.
Well, a new flamethrower.
Oh, of course he did. I didn't read about that.
It's not that he invented a new flamethrower, it's that he actually said, you know what I bet'll sell? Flamethrowers. Let's make a product to sell to the general marketplace. People can buy their own flamethrowers. That's what he did. Which is a pretty nutty notion, and worked beautifully for him. He sold out of them. It's like, he sold them all.
I don't even understand. Like, he was just like, I know what I'm gonna do. Flamethrowers. Like, with all the brain power.
It's a libertarian
Yes.
statement. He's making a libertarian statement.
Oh. I don't know anything about libertarianism or Elon Musk. Just
Waving a
generally stuff.
flamethrower around as a sorry, go ahead.
No,
Is it waving a flamethrower around as a libertarian statement?
No, the idea
Elon
that
Musk.
individual citizens should be able to buy flamethrowers is a libertarian sentiment.
Oh yeah, okay, true. I do like the image of Elon Musk like just gleefully brandishing a flamethrower.
Well, I think he probably realized at some point that there was a regulatory hole there. There's no law preventing him from selling flamethrowers, and so he's like, "Hey, look, they forgot to make these illegal. Let's sell the fuck out of these things while we still can."
I should buy one.
Crazy. Right, I know what I'm getting my family for Christmas. Elon Musk, fucking Tesla flamethrower. I don't even know. I didn't even know about this until now.
The Elon Musk Signature Edition flamethrower. It's a special collector's edition one. Something totally. It was super, super important, and it just slipped my mind. So let me remember what it was. I have no idea. Oh, I know. I know what I'm getting my parents for Christmas. I'm getting them a Ring, not the doorbell, but the camera that you attach like above the door. Looks your front yard, you know? You guys heard about that thing? Ring?
A camera.
It's
I've never heard of it.
It's a surveillance camera that is motion activated and sends you motion alerts to your phone and then lets you look at what's happening in your yard at that moment, real time.
Oh yeah, my dad has.
Why are they like super paranoid or something?
Well, my dad. Okay, here's the thing. My mom, being dementia, does weird ass shit puts puts a turkey in the mailbox, like that kind of shit, you know. So my dad is not yet really coming to terms with the fact that it's always my mom that's doing that. There's nobody's trying to come around and pull pranks on you, Dad, or something. He said things like, I think the neighbor boy is pulling pranks on us, leaving the gate open, coming over and unlocking it. You know, there's only this number of keys, and I don't know who. It's obviously Mom doing it, you know. So I want to get him one of those cameras so you can see. It'll also give him a good reason to leave his phone on. My dad has weird cell phone behavior. He'll make calls on his cell phone and then turn it off. He thinks it's just for outgoing calls or something.
I've probably kind of heard that with older people.
Well, he's 82.
Yeah.
Maybe he just thinks he wants to save the battery or something. I don't know, but it's weird. It's like he calls me, I miss his call, I call him back 10 minutes later, and his phone's off. And he won't text. He refuses to text ever. It's like he tells me he's going to email me. He knows email. He's been using email for years. He knows all about email. And I say, Dick, can you just text me, please? He goes, what?
Yeah.
He's hard of hearing, too, so it's just like,
Oh, man.
text me. What do you mean? Never mind. I'll check my email.
Why do famous people always have these corny quotes? Like there's a picture on Google Images for Elon Musk. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. In big quotes.
Me.
What? Why do really smart people say really dumb things?
I mean, I think it's true what he said, but I don't think it's very quote worthy.
Right. It's not his fault that
It's the quoter's fault, yeah. It's the quoter's fault, not the quoted. You can't expect all of your words to resonate with brilliance. You just hope the quoter picks the right ones.
Well, I guess if you're the type of person who makes quotation images, then you're probably going to pick bad quotes.
See, I'm going to bust that stereotype now, Neptune. I take that as a challenge. I actually want to make some inspirational posters that are cool. That even the cool kids are going to like these. It's going to really improve citizenship around the school.
You can tell a lot about a person if they have as their cover photo on Facebook is you can do anything you put your soul to.
Your soul, yeah.
Quote unquote Gandhi.
The only dreams you'll never that can't come true are the ones you don't reach for. Some
It's
sort of
mostly like
message. Hmm?
users. It's mostly like SI users that do stupid shit like that.
True.
Sometimes ENFPs.
Ooh, shots fired. I've seen some shit though.
Kimberly shows me the dumbest videos. She loves cat videos, like videos of ducks running around in pants, shit like that. She'll show me this video, and she'll be laughing. It's just a series of pictures of chickens running around with pants on. So somebody's put little chicken pants on, okay? And she will just enjoy the fuck out of that for like 10 minutes. It's like she shows it to me, and I go, okay, cool, yeah, I get the concept. That's pretty funny. No, but watch.
It's like, no, but yeah.
But Kimberly, it's just the same thing over and over again. It's just different chickens, different pants. I get the idea of it. It is kind of funny, but I don't need to watch any further.
You have to watch 3 more minutes.
Yeah, just watch this part. And then there's this blonde comedian chick that she really likes who does these videos that are pretty good. Some of them are pretty funny, I guess.
Amy Schumer?
She makes her face look big and fat or skinny with different like lens things on the camera, I guess. I have to find out what her name is to show you. Maybe you need to know.
I think I've probably seen some shit like that.
Anyway, she loves this chick, and she wants to always show me these videos that she makes, and she thinks it's hilarious. And again, it's like, yeah, that's pretty good, but it's just like it's not going to surprise me at any point, you know. Even when it's funny, it's not
Yeah.
it's not surprisingly funny. But that's just not what she's looking for in a video, you know. She's not looking for surprise, and she's not looking for a lot of intellectual engagement. And she's not a dumb person at all. She just likes dumb media. Tonight she was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which I've not seen her watch before. Normally she watches
Oh shit.
this like real life murder investigation shows. Like it
Is
began
it just like an ISFJ thing or a 6 thing? My mom was like, is so obsessed with those.
maybe both. Kim's
I'm like,
obsessed with them
oh my
too.
God.
I'm always walking through the living room
True
and
crime, man.
yeah, I walk through the
Oh.
living room and I hear from the TV, and then he, after raping the 2 teenagers, he went after their younger sister. I'm just like, oh my god, why do I have to have all this dark ass shit pouring into my ears
Right.
all the time? You know, it's dark.
ISFJs
Right.
don't need that either. They already think the world is a dangerous place. They just like reaffirm it by watching that stuff. And then you'll be like, oh, I'm doing blah, 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 blah. And you're like, well, one time I saw on the news this happened, so be careful.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Neptune, but people who go to parks at night are always murdered. I saw on the news last night that someone went to a park and was murdered.
No, right.
This is my understanding of the world.
She has a weird memory too. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to a party at blah 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 this place. I would say that, and she'd be like, oh, a few streets over on blah 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 street, a shooting happened 10 years ago, so be careful. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're
10
really
years.
weird about things like that. Where Kimberly sees a coyote somewhere at a certain time near our house, and then she'll declare that time period we should try to keep the cats inside the house because that's a particularly risky time for coyotes. After all,
Right.
she saw a coyote there last night at around 5 p.m. So obviously, 5 p.m. is when the coyotes come out. But that's an actual example. I'm telling you, like that actually happened. And so you gotta explain. You go, well, I do know, I understand how scary the thought of the cat being eaten by a coyote is. I get that, and I know that you are very fretful about that. And it is our job to, because Well, we've lost a few pets, like one to coyote or a dog, one of the two, and one to another one to a dog, the next door neighbor's dog, and a third cat. Did we lose a third cat too? I know we only had two die on us. Oh no, we lost Kitty Meow too when she came. She didn't die, but she like was run off from the house by the other cats basically. Um, we had a tortoise get out and get run over by a car. I mean, it's been pretty brutal. But the thing, and we had multiple chickens die. But the thing is, Kim feels guilty whether or not there was anything in the world we could possibly have done to stop it. Like, there's absolutely nothing we could have done to stop the two cats that got killed by coyote dog. Clyde, he climbed into the neighbor's, went under the fence, got into the neighbor's backyard that had a big dog. It was a little kitten, and the dog attacked it, like killed him. Nothing we could have done about that. But she feels guilty about it anyway, because it's our job to protect them. Well, I mean, no, not really. It's our job to love them and care for them and wish the best, but they're cats. They're going to go in and out, and they're going to run afoul of cat problems periodically, and sometimes those cat problems will kill them.
My mom did that the other day with my brother and his like long-term girlfriend just broke up because like he's an ESFP or ISFP and he doesn't really know what he's doing with his life yet, and he hasn't gone to school, and she's like in nursing school and blah blah blah. And then because they broke up, my mom's like, I think I failed him. I think maybe he had like a learning disability in school and that's why he doesn't know how to, but he doesn't have a learning disability, and that's not why they broke up. And no, you couldn't have done anything.
You need to explain to your mom that what appears to be a learning disability is a personality type called ESFP.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I think he is ESFP now that I think about it, because that would explain why she was confused as a third slot TF user.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, he's got a good TE though. Like, he's got like a business mind.
Well,
like he can like buy and flip shit really, really easily. He just gets it kind of intuitively.
Yeah, ESFPs are not helpless. They're just not.
Yeah.
What's the word? TI friendly.
I mean, I can't tell. How do I tell if he's ISFP or ESFP though? Because ISFPs suck at that shit too, like pretty bad.
ISFPs seem slow. ESFPs seem lost if you do TI shit with them. ISFPs, you're like, you're kind of dumb. You might think, like, if you're being coarse and blunt and like not very particular in your thinking, you might think, oh, this person's not very smart. For an ISFP, for an ESFP, you'll be like, are we in the same room? What the fuck is going on here?
Well, he's probably ISFP then. He's not like to the level that I think that.
That's if you do TI stuff with them. I mean, you say run some conditionality logic problems by them, and if they're like, okay, wait, hold on.
He always focuses on the completely wrong aspect.
That's ESFP. That's ESFP. ISFP will get it, but it's going to be laborious for them. They understand the basic concept of it. They just aren't very good at it, really.
Well, I think it might be like a polar NE thing, because when I like try to ideate, really, that's when he gets lost. When I like think of like possibilities of why things are blah blah blah, he like doesn't quite grasp the any realm level stuff. But I think you can follow TI that's like real world, applicable kind of well.
To me, ISFPs feel like children. They feel like I've said before, half the time if you hang out with you and an ISFP, this is an ENTP and an ISFP, remember, if you're hanging out in that situation, half the time I feel like the only adult in the room. Half the time I feel like the only child in the room. And but more often I feel like the adult. Really, it's not really half. ISFPs seem like like hello, don't you care about meanings at all? Um, you just go through life and experience things and don't consider what they mean in a larger context at all. That's what I feel about ISFPs. What I feel about ESFPs is you're an adult who should know better.
Yeah, he's a ISFP then by that metric. He doesn't really think like abstractly at all. It seems like not interesting to him. Or it'll be the opposite, and sometimes it'll be like super novel, and you can tell he's never explored it before, even if it's kind of base level.
Like
he's
ISFPs won't give you
probably-
any. They won't play along at all with any open-ended shit. Like if you give them like, now here's a setup for you. So would you say that you're more this way, or something else? Oh well, more like this probably. And yeah, more like that. I said, okay, thank you. You don't get this concept of let's both come up with some random shit to say to sort of move things along. ISFPs don't really get that process very well. I mean, they'll have conversations with you that are concrete, no problem. Like, what'd you do last night? Oh, I went to the we danced tonight, whatever, and blah blah blah. That no problem. But if you're trying to get them to do an analysis, like, well, what do you think this means? Do you think it means meow meow meow? They'll give you an answer, but then they just won't. They don't do anything from it.
Yeah, my brother, when I was asking him MBTI related questions, he's like, well, it was kind of just like always like, oh well, it depends. Oh well, it depends. Or like, yeah, he's kind of like shapeshifty around people.
That seems a little more ESFP. The shapeshifty thing.
Interesting.
ISFPs tend to.
Yeah, ISFPs don't seem really super capable of doing that.
Yeah, they tend to play out as simple and weirdly disinterested in meaning consistently. Whereas ESFPs have this strange relationship with their FE in the sixth slot. They countervalue it, but it matters to them that they be perceived as being good at it. I guess it's like me and TE. It was for a long time a sore spot. I didn't like to be criticized on my TE. I didn't like people pointing out that I was bad at like handyman shit. I've grown in that area, I guess. I accept my TE as it is, and I'm pleased that it's getting better, and not worried about the fact that it's comparatively bad compared to people who use it well. But I think in earlier stages of development, ESFPs can have an equivalent relationship with their FE, which is a particularly bad place to have that, because it means you're always going to be reacting badly to FE critiques.
Oh yeah, he can't handle criticism at all.
Yeah,
if you criticize him at all, he gets super aggro and like aggressive and goes for the jugular. Like, he doesn't know the difference between like light criticism and harsh criticism. It's like they're the same, all aspects of it. Like, any criticism is on the same level. It's all fair game after you've criticized one part of someone. It's like, oh, so you said that my hair is frizzy today? well, you're just fucking ugly. Like they think they're the same thing. I think, or he thinks so at least.
Yeah, that's a little bit of meaning blindness there. That probably, I don't know what I'd say about that.
I mean, that's how my ISFP friend is though too, and he's actually ISFP.
When you tell this person something like, here's a meaning about you, are they going to respond to that meaning depending on whether it's positive or negative, or to what extent does he just dislike the fact that there's a meaning pinning him down, regardless of if it's positive or negative?
I don't think he cares so much about the pinning down part. It's genuine question. Like he's fine with being like, oh yeah, I'm for sure an extrovert. He'll say that.
Okay.
Like that's one thing he knows, but I don't. He doesn't know cognitive function, so like obviously it means something else
Right.
when it comes to cognitive functions. But so if he does identify with something, he doesn't care that it's like limiting necessarily.
How go outy is he?
He's always with his friends doing stuff, and there's no like. If he has a project idea, he just does it. He doesn't think twice about it. Like he does. He's a doer, I guess. So he's always like working on like music, shooting a video for a friend. I don't know what him and his friends do when they're together, but
He's ESFP.
he's always...
ISFPs do shit too, but they do stuff that's more self-attending. Like less. It's more about, well, I want to go to get a massage today, or I want to go sailing on the lake. Not like, let's collaborate to do a group thing. ISFPs are lazy and not very productive.
They don't want to do anything if they don't want to do it at all. I'm the same way, but I'm like more accommodating. Like if my friend doesn't like a particular bar, who's ISFP, he just won't go to the bar. He'll be like, well, I'm going home then. Like,
what if your friend insists that you eat euros?
What?
What if your friend insists on, you're going out for dinner with a friend, and you're like, where do you want to eat?
Oh,
and he insists on having gyros.
Then he won't leave the house unless we get gyros.
What if he surprises you? Like, you get in the car, and he's like, guess what? Here we go. I know I said we were going to go have hamburgers, but I've got a surprise. Here we're at the gyro restaurant. We're having lamb gyros. Come on in. How do you react?
I don't eat meat, so...
Okay, well, these are vegetarian gyros.
Not very well. Not gonna eat lamb gyros. If I am gonna eat meat again, it's not gonna be lamb first.
Okay, well, what about the vegetarian gyros? Okay, what they do is they take Morningside Farms fake breakfast sausage, and they shape it into like a big piece of lamb on a stick, and then they shave it off onto your gyro.
I'm usually, if somebody wants to do something, I'm not like, well, I don't know. I guess I am particular. I would go to the place, but I wouldn't eat if I don't find anything appealing.
Okay, well, what if it smells really good, but the guy behind the counter is a very greasy and unsavory looking Armenian fellow, and who's got terrible FEs, way too loud. It's like, my friend, eat some gyros for you, my friend.
But he has bad hygiene.
Well, he doesn't necessarily stink, but he's got a glossy sheen. He definitely has a glossy sheen, and he's got a generally gesticulatory manner about him, waving his hands about in all manner of directions. He doesn't seem particularly
No.
attentive to food safety, but there's no clear indications of a lack of food safety.
I'd probably be like, I would probably still eat at the place if they were insistent, like my friend or friends, but I would be thinking about the grossness level the whole time.
So let's say you get it. It looks fine. Everything looks kosher. Looks good. You start
Yeah, but
eating.
I work at a restaurant, so I know that everything that shines isn't safe.
Okay, so
Well, not safe.
it all
But,
looks good, and the chef he beams proudly and says gyros for you, and seems excited for you to eat them. Here's the thing, though. I got some bad news for you. After you've eaten about half of it, he comes over and says, "Hey, I got some good news for you. I put just a little pork in there so you get some extra protein. You're welcome." And you've been eating some pork. Now, are you angry at the restaurant? Are you just sad? Or are you thinking to yourself, well, this is a freebie. I can eat the rest of this. Might as well just have my delicious pork for once.
I probably wouldn't continue eating, but I also wouldn't be mad at the restaurant.
Would you force yourself to throw it up?
No. That would be like having to taste pork twice.
You're like, wow, this fake meat tastes so good. I've got some rice. It's real meat. That's why it tastes so good.
No, I'm not like, especially if he was like trying to do me a solid. I couldn't get mad at him. And I've worked in the restaurant industry for a bit now, so I even more couldn't get mad at him. And he's foreign, so I'd be like, oh, he just doesn't get it.
If a restaurant said all of our food options are available either regular or gluten-free, would you get gluten-free?
No, not necessarily. Especially if there's like something in it that I want that's got gluten. I'm just gonna eat the gluten.
Like
I don't really believe. There's so many people that come in and like they say they have celiac. Well, what they really mean is they have a quote unquote gluten intolerance, which they probably also don't have. But they say celiac because then there's no cross contamination. You have to cook everything in a separate stove, and it's like, okay, if you were actually celiac, like you would have an EpiPen with you. I feel like you already would know what you would want, what you could get at any given restaurant.
I think most people who say they need to not eat gluten have a gluten deficiency. They need more gluten.
I mean, I believe that gluten, if you go a long time without having it, you're going to be more sensitive to it, but I don't think it's like detrimental to most people. I think it's very, very rare that someone is intolerant to it, just right off the bat.
I want to start serving entrees with a gluten sauce.
I mean, I thought that I might have a gluten intolerance, so I was like testing it out. I'm like, well, I haven't had gluten in a really long time. Let me try to have some seitan, which is literally just gluten. It's like made out of gluten.
What is it called?
Wheat gluten.
Seitan?
Seitan. Seitan. Sorry.
Seitan?
Yeah, it's like a vegetarian, like meat substitute.
Seitan.
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 And it's literally just wheat gluten. That's what it's made out of. And I had no reactions. I was like, oh, so I don't have gluten intolerance. I ruled that out.
It's also called gluten wheat meat, wheat protein, or wheat gluten. So that's seitan. Seitan is
Seitan.
seitan is
I didn't know how to say it before, so I would go to the restaurant and be like, could I get the Satan?
Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to open a restaurant that markets itself to those with gluten deficiencies, so that everything comes with extra gluten. And everything comes with a side order of gluten in a little cup that you can dip things into, liquid gluten.
You could name it gluttony to look like gluttony, but gluten.
That's a good idea. That is very boutique pun ideal right there. We'd fit right in with the other bougie restaurants. Gluttony, a farm-to-table approach to gluten-enhanced living. A farm-to-table gastropub for those living a gluten-enhanced lifestyle. Hey, Mary, have you heard of this gluten enhancement? I know we've been going gluten-free for a while, but I think we should try this one out. Hi, welcome to Gluteny. I'm Barbara. I'll be your hostess. I'll be feeding you tonight. How many are there in your party? 4? And what's the name? Dave?
You always, every time I talk to you, you have a new restaurant idea. I'm convinced that you have a secret desire to open a restaurant. You had the Cube restaurant. You had the fucking
Food Cube is what it's called.
Yeah, you and Kimberly should just get on that so you don't have to come up with these awful ideas anymore.
Well, this is what happens. Next time the lottery gets to $1 billion, I'm going to win it for sure. And I'll be the only one who wins it. And then I'm going to be able to put all these ridiculous ideas into motion. I'll be like, opening businesses whose sole purpose is to be a joke. Like Food Cube, and try to make it work. I wonder if Food Cube could actually make money. Let's see.
Well, you've seen Nathan For You, haven't you?
Nathan who?
Nathan For You. It's a show on Comedy Central.
No.
It's like all improvised and it's real people and like so. For instance, he like will fix businesses because he has a shitty business degree or something. And he for instance went into this yogurt place that was failing, frozen yogurt. And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna get a poop flavor, and that's gonna attract a bunch of people to try it because it's so weird." And then, but he acts like very serious the whole time, and it like sometimes works. It's weird, or it doesn't work at all, really. But.
Well, like some of the businesses that impress me. One of the businesses that impresses me as much as any is hot dog on a stick. That's an impressive business concept. It only serves like 2 things: hot dog on a stick and cheese on a stick. And it has one drink really that they make is lemonade, and you can get like the strawberry lemonade. And then their main thing that gets people in there is they got a bunch of hot teenage girls dressed up in these ridiculous little outfits. That's a good business model. You sell that shit in the mall, sell those $6 for a hot dog on a stick or whatever. It's a gold mine. You gotta teach your people, no, dip the hot dog on the stick into the hot oil. Let it sit there for this long. 5 minutes, not any less, okay? Otherwise it's gonna be cold in the middle. You understand? Uh-huh. Okay, cheese on the stick, you only need 2 minutes. Just dip it in there 2 minutes, okay? You understand? Now show me how to pump the lemonade. Show me how you pump it. Like this? That's right. All right, you're officially passed all the training for Hot Dog on a Stick Girl. You may now begin working here at Hot Dog on a Stick. Put this little outfit on. This? This little thing? Yeah, and this hat too. There, you look cute like that. All right, good. Get to work. Brilliant.
This reminds me, I have to find another job because they are apparently replacing me or something. Because my performance has not been great. But really, it's slow business hours, so like it's the slow season. I was like number one.
It's a big ass spider.
I was like, oh,
There's a scary ass spider. Let me look at it with the flashlight. I think it's a harmless kind, but it's still scary. Yeah. Harmless but scary. I think it's harmless. Why don't you go over there? I don't want to hurt you, but I don't want you so close to me. Go on. Go on now. Go on now. And get. Get, I said. Get, you little spider. Go on now. There. I shoot him away, but he's still standing there. Maybe I'll blow some cigarette smoke at him. Shoot. Such a little creature has such a big impact on me. It's so small compared to me. But so much scarier than I am. Get out of here. Why are you standing there? I don't want to. I want you not next to me. Go. Go away. Attacking the screwdriver. Go away. Fucking aggressive spider. He didn't want to shoot, he wanted to attack the screwdriver. It's a very naughty spider. Oh, you were talking about your job. That's right.
Basically it's slow season, so I like when I get there, I'm like I'm first cut because I'm usually the first one in. That's how it's been. And like by the time I get I am told that I'm not needed anymore, it's like already apparent that it's not going to be super busy and they don't need me. So I'm there less time than the average person lately because I don't want to be there because it's like I'm not making any money really when you're splitting a slow day with 3 people, So it looks like my sales are bad, but comparatively, because I was like number 1 or 2 every single week for the summer, so it looks like I gave up or something. But it's really just like, this is slow season. I don't feel like being here when I'm not making a ton.
Okay, well, but
so
like,
this
wait, how do you
girl
by
at the
sales? Like, they judge you. They think that how much people order is based on your waitering.
Yeah,
You're supposed to suggest extra
because our
shit.
manager is an ISTJ and also an idiot.
Do other
He's just really
restaurants
dumb.
do that?
No, he's just particularly dumb. So like he'll like be like, I'm so upset that all of your soda sales were so low this year. Soda costs $2. Like what? Like you should be more upset that our tables didn't get a margarita that cost $8. Like, why are you so dumb? I don't get it.
Well, soda's almost pure profit, though. That's why. The
I
search.
mean, I get it, but like also you can't you can't force people to buy soda. Like they know we have soda, you know. Like, you
You
can only
gotta
do so
remind
much to
them
get
more.
people to buy
You
soda.
gotta remind them more. You gotta use some subliminal techniques too. So, like for example, walk by chatting loudly with a fellow server about the deliciousness of the soda as you pass the table.
Well, when I mentioned drinks, like for happy hour specials, I'm not gonna lie, I did stop doing this, but I did increase my soda sales. I knew how to do it, but I haven't really been trying, I guess, with that. But I would name like our alcoholic beverages, and then I'd be like, and then I'd also mention like, oh, we have like the blah 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 Mexican soda and blah 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 flavors, blah blah blah, and that just naturally, and you tell them what you have on the gun, like, oh, we also have Coke products and ginger beer or whatever.
Do you
And then
like?
people just
Do you
naturally buy
endorse?
more.
Do you endorse anything? Go like, and the strawberry lemonade is really good.
No, I can't force myself to do that.
But what if you actually think something's really good?
Yeah, now I do that with food. I can upsell food all the time. I like sell a ton of desserts, sell a ton of whatever. It's really just particularly hard to get people to buy soda. I can get them to buy drinks. I can get them to buy anything. And it's not even the problem. He's not upset about the soda
He's
sales.
just finding something
What's really going on is
to blame. He's finding some reason to blame you.
Well, he didn't even mention it at all. He didn't mention that. He just mentioned my overall sales, which actually haven't been bad comparatively to other people. But this girl at the other business that they own, he's not the owner, but anyways, the owner wants this girl at our restaurant because she threatened to quit the other job because she wasn't making enough money. So it's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Bring her over in slow season where she's also not going to be making any money, and she also is not like she's probably going to quit when she gets sick of it. So get rid of someone who's been there over a year. Get rid of all their hours. Who like I don't know. Who clearly isn't going to quit. I don't know. It's just annoying. Just because the owner has probably like fucked this girl.
Do you think you can
Big
go to
sleazeball.
another restaurant easily enough and get a job?
I just don't like learning new shit at a new job, and I hate adjusting to a new environment. It's like not a fun process.
You don't like change.
Probably because like inferior TE, probably third slot SI. Like I'm on autopilot at work. It's not hard for me. Everyone when they found out what was going on was like really upset. They're like, people in the kitchen are like, I don't get it. You're one of the best waiters we have. Blah blah blah. So they know it's not a me thing, but it's just annoying because I have to go find another job, and I hate the process of applying, getting to know new people. It's all just fucking annoying.
I see. That sounds kind of interesting to me. I guess I don't really think about new jobs as involving getting to know people. But I guess it does. Huh.
Yeah, well, like especially in the serving industry, there's a lot of like cattiness just because everyone's like fighting for positions. There's a coldness to the culture, kind of, and unless you've been there for a while, people are just like kind of, I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like, who's this guy, kind of thing.
Oh, so
Like, that happens to
you
new
think
people.
you're a server, huh? Well, we'll see if you got the skills to pay the bills, sister. Like that.
Yeah, like they'll just critique the shit server. Like, I see it happen all the time. Like, oh my gosh, she is such a B-list server. Like, bottom of the barrel. Like, they say things like that.
Like, what does that mean? That they don't bring out the food fast enough or something?
They don't know the menu. They have poor rapport to customers. Rapport, whatever. They, I don't know.
They masturbate in front of the
Yeah,
customer.
they're not good at communicating with the kitchen, don't know what they can and can't put in. Blah blah blah. Just like really basic shit.
I see.
But usually it's not actually that the person's a bad server, it's that they don't like the person.
Kim and I critique every waiter or waitress that we have. Like, and we eat
Kim
out.
does, or you both do?
We both do. Like
just the fun activity?
It's just, I mean, I don't even know why or how it came to be, but we do. We go after every meal, we'll say, we like that waiter or waitress, like, or occasionally we would just be like, yeah, she was great. No, she was fantastic. And then sometimes we'll talk about why she was fantastic. But most of the time, it's going to be some sort of either FE critique or SE critique. Like, a lot of times FE. Like, she has too much FE, or she was obviously not amused by our antics, meaning she didn't give us enough FE response. Or, I can't believe he called me chief or something,
Yeah.
That kind of critique. But yeah, we definitely critique every one of them. I basically tip the same regardless. I tip about 20%. Maybe 15% if I'm unhappy.
Do you guys care about what type they are? Like, if it's very obvious that someone's like socially inept, and you're like, oh, well, they get a pass because they're just like a nice person, they're just bad at FE? Or is it like,
Well, I mean, I think
this person...
I think if they're shy, that plays fine, right? Like, if they seem like they're not that extroverted, right, that plays fine. If they seem like they're putting too much FE out, like, hello, it's like, okay, enough, fucking tone it down. That bugs both of us. And so, I like...
Yeah, that only works for really pretty girls generally.
I mean, if the waitress is really pretty.
Really pretty girls can pull off the hello, especially to like a big table. You can't get away with that as like a dude. You just can't. They just look at you like, okay, what's wrong with this guy?
I've been awake for like 24 hours, and then I slept 40 minutes and woke up.
Well, you're probably going to need a little bit more sleep than that, I would guess.
Yeah, I would think so. And then I woke up, and then I took a shit. And now I'm here again. Fucking great.
Sounds like you need to boost some Quaaludes.
I really need to sleep, but it's like, I don't know. It's like my mind wants to sleep, but my body can't, or something. I don't know. Pretty weird. If I ran like 10 miles, I would be so tired.
Well, we're talking about waiters and waitresses right now. So it's pretty important, Magnus. You better wake up and start taking notes.
We can move on.
I don't know. Can we ever really move on?
Yeah. Yeah, that was way longer than it should have been.
I don't know. Pretty juicy topic. A lot of meat there. A lot of meat on that bone. What time is it? I should go to bed. I should try to get a few hours of sleep before taking my last Adderall before I take a couple days off.
Wait, you go to sleep after you have
no, before I take
Adderall?
My last one. Like, I should get 4 hours.
I mean, before you go to...
Well, I got a choice to make. At this point, I'm not really tired. I don't feel that tired. I could say, fuck it, I'll push through. I'll take the last Adderall and ride that through to the end of today and then go to bed. Fine. That's choice B, really. Choice A, the default thing that I know I should do, I'll feel ultimately everything will work better if I do it this way, which is go get 4 hours of sleep, wake up. If I probably won't sleep much more than 4 hours, and then wake up, and then take the last one, and then crash out. But I don't know. It's kind of a toss up at this point because it's almost 5 in the morning. It's 4:30. I got pretty good sleep last night and the night before, so I mean 2 nights ago and 3 nights ago. Since last night's now over. Regardless, I'm gonna go in. I need to look at the kitchen floor, which I painted last night, and go to the bathroom, maybe lie down with Kimberly for a bit. Good night. Thank you for being here.